First of all, I do apologize. I couldn't figure out how to do screen recording on my computer, so I will just be recording it. I hope that is fine. My name is Eli Thomas, and today I'll be representing what I titled it, What's Up With That Stage. This is theater, and I am studying with Professor Pellegrino, and the slideshow was made on the 12th of June. Most of the words will be in 20-point font. And Times New Roman. Today we'll be talking about transforming Romeo and Juliet from a thrust theater into an arena. Hamilton we will be bringing from a proscenium stage, as you can see here, to a thrust stage. This is a thrust. It's surrounded on three sides by the audience, sharing one common background. And this is an arena, surrounded on all sides with just a box type thing in the middle. Finally, this is a proscenium. Proscenium is kind of like a box with a clear wall. You can just kind of see, it's kind of like a TV, seeing into a TV. Traditional Romeo and Juliet. Here's some pictures. They're not really helpful to the presentation, but I can find any ones that were. So, just some common pictures. It is a thrust stage originally. Because it's a thrust stage, they have very detailed props, intricate props. They rely heavily on backgrounds. Obviously, this is very green, lush right here. There's a big balcony, good wall, some windows. They obviously portray very big backgrounds. The center thumbs forward. They always are looking forward, sometimes to the side because it is surrounded on all three sides, but mostly forwards. Sometimes diagonal. There are very few lighting and sound effects, though there are some, but they don't really rely on them in order to convey their surroundings. There are many people on the stage for some scenes, such as the town or the ballroom. They have those characters there just to kind of represent the scenery, not to really act. Finally, we have the transformed Romeo and Juliet, which there's the arena stage again, just kind of bigger this time. You can see the detail. There can be a few small props. We can't put a lot of large ones there because it'll block people's view, and that we don't want that. There's no backgrounds because obviously you can't just put a big background right there. It's going to block the whole road's view, and that's just not what we want. You're going to center to every direction instead of choreography to just one, maybe two or three directions. You need to look in every direction, which will be a big focus. Backgrounds most likely are displayed and represented through the script, through limited props, sound, and lighting effects. For example, I lost my train of thought. For example, inside of a castle, you might do trumpets, or inside of a ballroom, you might do some soft music with some lighting effects. Finally, they're limited to only necessary actors on the stage. You don't want a whole lot of actors there. It's just going to confuse the audience, unless that's your goal, of course. And then we have traditional Hamilton. Again, some pictures of him. That's of the thing. You can also kind of see the background, which I will be using. This is a proscenium stage. And it has multiple levels. It has a balcony thing up there and the flat down here. It's not really a balcony, it's like a big lift. There are very few detailed props. Obviously, they have the table in some scenes, and they have stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just a clean slate, so that you can see directly at the actors. It's easy to show multiple things occurring at once. For example, if you wanted to show something happening in England, you could show it on the top loft, and if you wanted to show something happening in America, you put it on the bottom loft, on the bottom floor. and you can show them happening at the same time. It is definitely more mechanical because you can hide the mechanisms all around the stage. There's also advanced backgrounds. It's quite literally completely intricated into one large background. And it is boxed in on all three sides with only one side being open. Like I said, it's kind of like a TV. You can just see our one side. To transform Hamilton, I kind of just did some cool images here, and here's a thrust stage that we can relate to. First of all, it will be a thrust stage. 1, maybe 2 levels. Romeo and Juliet does have a second level for their balcony, so maybe they could do something like that, but it's not going to be a big, giant thing like the original Hamilton. There are more detailed props, or can be, because obviously you're not blocking everyone's direct view by putting it in certain locations. It is difficult to show multiple scenes occurring at once unless you literally wanted to bring a prop out to split it down the middle. And that would be difficult considering, right here, it is less mechanical, more manual. It means everything that's being moved is going to be moved by the actors, by the staging people. It's going to be more difficult. There's just a few actual backgrounds, maybe 2, if they're swapping them out behind the curtain. It's open on all 3 sides, which I said is like the exact opposite of proscenium. And that is about the end. Have a nice day.